Happy.
You can speak.
Oh, Mema, you always on time. You can. Yazi le ngoma yini?
How you doing,
You
bro?
leave the 99, always for the one. Oh, Mema,
The guy can't even sing.
always on time.
Ooh.
You awuzazi ingoma ngoba usonto.
Pen and pen. What up, bro? I gave you 2 topics for this week. Maybe we can start there.
You didn't give me 2 topics. You gave me 1 topic.
Maybe we'll start there and then we'll ask. We've got gents in the back. I don't know if you guys want to introduce yourselves in the back.
Yeah, what's up? This is Kingfish Mfana, Ishu Hawima.
That's what's up.
Issue however.
Are you wanted by the police? Faith?
Anonymous.
Are you not going to speak at all? Think about it. I know you're laughing, but you know.
Okay.
good.
Aye.
Are you scared? Are you nervous?
Sort of.
Okay.
Nervous. Okay.
You know how music producers get.
He's a music producer.
Yeah.
Oh
Faith,
wow.
we can get you clients.
Come on.
Be
Now.
like I say, I produce music. These are the genres. Hit me up on my socials.
The only time I texted you was only when I said happy birthday.
Ah.
Birthday.
The rest,
Okay.
Mzi, say what up to the peeps.
Nick Ren Buffett. The one and only. Z the originator, true self-motivated pioneer. Yes, sir.
Let me come up.
No, one needs to know your name.
Penny pop. Pisang pa.
Pisang. I found out today that Pisang is actually ish. I always get serious. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I found out that Pisang is from Malaysia. A
Pisang.
lot of the Afrikaans words are actually from. I think they brought in slaves.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Cape Malay, Pisang, Pireng. Then there's other words like Khocha, Asekhai. That's from the Khoi and the Sun. Anyway, sorry. The topics
Hey.
for today. They're a bit serious. I hope you guys will be okay.
Yeah. So, how are you doing?
I'm alright.
It's introducing.
What's up, everybody? It's Pen, you
What
all
up?
the black pen, your
What's
mama's favorite podcaster.
Oh,
what's
flames. And present le. Eshayizana.
I say hit, Baba.
No, so you sent me 2 TikTok reels.
I
Called
did.
reels. And it was talking, and we actually had this chat. We had a long chat, around that. What was the topic in terms of parenting? What is it saying? But it hit
Pregnancy
romantic relationships
and
ne?
parenting.
and parenting. And
But you must discuss the videos
Yeah.
and what you got
yeah,
from
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
Just for
So I'm gonna give
completeness.
a bit of background, my own, and then I'm gonna speak about the videos.
Mm.
Ne? Okay. So within the relationship dynamic, what Abantu don't understand, and I hope there's a lot of younger guys, younger sisters to understand this. We go through stages, guys. We go through stages, all of us. And you need to be, if you want longevity in your relationship, you need to be able to adjust with the stages that your partner goes through. You know, just to make it simple. When Usis is a girlfriend, she moves in a girlfriend way. You know, you've always heard girls say things like, why am I giving him wife privileges when I'm only a girlfriend? We've heard those things. We've heard it time and time again. She moves in a specific way when she views herself as a girlfriend. When she's single, she moves in a specific way. When she is engaged, she moves in a certain way. When she's a wife, she moves in a certain way. When she's a mother, she moves in a certain way. And I think a lot of us don't understand that. We see it in society. If you've ever seen a sister who's been in a long, committed relationship, abaning, not all, after a while they get comfortable, they start letting themselves go, gain weight, kancane. When she gets single, what happens?
Gain weight kakhulu.
Or gain weight kakhulu.
Sure.
When a sister gets single, let's say she's been in a relationship for a long time, but when she's single, what does she do? She goes back to gym. She starts dressing. She starts
Revenge body
Yeah,
is what
bo.
they call it.
she starts getting snatching. Why? When you're in a loving, committed relationship, why weren't you going to gym dressing this way? So again, it speaks to certain stages. If you're in a relationship and it's just me and you, and we husband and wife, you are my first and main priority, and I am your first and main priority. So the videos that you were sending, the one was speaking to how once a woman has gotten a child,
Fallen pregnant.
has a child, for a lot of men, they aren't attracted to that lady anymore. And if you haven't experienced these stages that I'm speaking about, you'll instantly say, well, that's the mother of my kids. Why would I not be in love with her after she's had a child? You know, not understanding why did you fall in love with her? You know, were you loving the external, the booty, the titties? Is that what was a huge factor in you falling for her? Was it the fact that uyaknaga, she looks after you, uyakphekela, you know, if you mamthinte kamereni, then she comes alive and you guys do bedroom things? If that was the case, how is it going to look when she's pregnant? How's it going to be once she has a child? Because once she has a child, you are no longer number one priority. If every day I declare 7 colors, every day, now there's a baby that's crying that needs all of this attention, you're going to go from 7 colors in the past 10 years to now 6 shawarma noodles. If it was a matter of when she's breastfeeding, bro, damn, for real. And the more kids, the more zokhutuka pants amabele. And if those were the things that were holding the relationship together, how she looked, the fact that she catered to you, you were number one priority, if that was holding the relationship, should something else take her or her attention and you become a number 2, also shy, because you're going to feel like a side nigga. And if you've never been a side nigga for all these years, now uzoyizwa ke leyo nto leyo. Wena uthi uyamthinta kancane kamele uthi umshango kiss ingane ithi ne sekuphelile.
No, it's definitely done.
Usuzozama kusasa.
All you live for is a makwiki, baba. And you must make sure that it's apartheid sex where it's quiet.
Yabona.
And they can't hear anything because if that fucking baby hears you, it's game over.
Ungene ekhabethini.
Apartheid sex, baba, in the corner like this.
Yabona. Faka ukhokhomeleni ku volume 10. Faka ukhokhomeleni ungene ngale khontshini wenza sengathi khonto ebhizo yenza. And again, the more kids, the more she will change because her attention, because think about it. If you were the main nigga, now she's got a child, therefore you're the side. Now she's got another child. Now you're the side. Then she's got you might as well be manching.
So I normally watch, I enjoy following, there's a TikTok page called Tonight's Conversation. It's pretty dope. There's this guy, Trip Fontaine, I think he just left. Really dope. He sounds like a mix of Stelly and Nipsey Hussle and I don't know who else. Got a beard, nice specs, speaks really slick. And then there's a chick Kitty, black chick with a deep voice who's also quite dope. They speak about relationships. They travel, I think they travel. Or they host these gatherings with people in the audience where people come up and ask questions. My boyfriend and I have not been having sex. If I'm a side chick, what should happen? And they have these conversations around relationships, in particular, Black American relationships. And in this video, this one guy was speaking about how there are guys who, as soon as their woman falls pregnant, they get turned off. And they're not attracted to the woman anymore. And the knee-jerk reaction is like, motherfucker,
what a cunt.
You fucking got her pregnant. You're gonna be there. But the deeper conversation, because these are the things that men don't talk about. The deeper conversation is men need to understand, women need to understand that sometimes the thing that you're attracted to what you're saying about the phases, gets affected. So it's pregnancy for now. Her body's changing. She's now prioritizing a child. Someone else could be like, as soon as she got a job, I started not feeling her. She was dope when she was a varsity chick. She was a ride or die. I could see her anytime. Now it's like, but work, dog. I have to go. Or especially after marriage. I'm your wife now. I've got the ring. I don't need to fucking look fly. We're married. And you're like...
Because I've had to talk to sisters where they're like, but you're not that guy that I initially fell in love with. Because I think Sakshela, duh, you know. So
that was the interview phase.
That was the interview. So obvious things was ngihlanganise ngiyokuthenga lunch bar yabona ngizama ukuba cute. Now so like wow. You know, now I have to focus on other things. You know, so again, same thing, even guys change once they have kids. So if I had a disposable income of 2,000 and low 2,000 so jola ngawo. Now that we've got a child, that 2,000 goes to the child. And now she has to understand, but why aren't you getting me this now? Why aren't you going here? Because of the child. And there's many women that start resenting kids. Even when you speak about postpartum, a lot of women start hormones or whatever the case is, feeling a type of way to the child. So when
postpartum, if you guys don't know, is when a woman gets depressed after giving birth. Sure.
And again,
And
now
she sometimes doesn't even want to be anywhere near the baby.
ayifuni kabi leyo ngane and on the most extreme cases ingayithatha leyo ngane flash. So again, now as the partner usuba referee between this 2-week-old baby and uma wengane ongafuni ukuyincelisa, you know, again because of hormones, whatever the case may be, but it's real. So now we struggle. I mean, I see so many guys in loving relationships when they still basahlanganisa in their early 20s, varsity apart. The moment it's you are 25, 26, bahlukana. And then now, a friend of ours that we used to play touch with, now he's in a different relationship, and he was, since we've met him, he was in this relationship with this lady. Since we met him, all of a sudden, and I was like, yeah, but because you guys change stages and phases of life. You know, you guys went from being in your early 20s to being in this phase where Usisi now wants marriage, she wants a child. When are you still building? So you'll only say, tops, I'll have the child and the marriage once I feel I'm ready. She's already there to her, ne? Because not all, but many sisters, when they're ready physically and emotionally, they want a child. And you need to provide.
And you're not financially ready.
And when I be grand. But you're a man, you must make a plan.
I want to tell 2 quick stories. The first one is family. The second one is myself.
Sure.
And the first one, I'm referencing family, but this applies to so many couples that I've met. You're 26, you're working, you meet a girl who's 21, still at varsity, third year, whatever the case may be. And you have a car, you have a job. She's a student. She stays at Res. To her, you're God. You pick her up. She's fly to her friends because my boyfriend's got a job and he works. And you guys decide to, as soon as she graduates, to get married. You get married, and what tends to happen, especially in the climate today where there's a lot of women empowerment, a lot of the women move up in their careers. Let's say well. Let me not say quickly or whatever, but they move well.
Tend to move quicker than men.
Yeah, so we can debate that.
In the space that I'm in.
The women move quicker.
The women move
empowerment.
way faster than the men.
So what happens is you met this chick, you were here, she was here. And as you guys, as she starts working, you start moving like this. You're moving up, but not at a faster rate. And when she starts earning money, all of a sudden that car that was cool is not that cool anymore. And you say, no, this is where we're going on holiday. She's like, nah, I'd like us to go somewhere else. And you're like, yeah, but as the man, she's like, but I can afford. Now she's buying a better car. Now she wants to buy a house. You don't have the money for the house. You're like, oh no, I can't afford it. She's like, no, I can afford it. And now what happens is a lot of those couples fight and they end up splitting. And when you split, it's like, no, she now thinks she's a man. She wants to dominate. And it's just because you met each other at a phase where you were superior to her. And the day she caught up and surpassed you, now all of a sudden you're not that dope anymore.
Or even if she doesn't surpass you. If you are earning 30K and now she's earning 20.
She can make decisions.
She can make her own. So
need you for
the
airtime.
phone that you gave her, agioni phone ifunayo.
Yes.
You know, so like it's the smallest things, like clothes. I bought these clothes. They feel good on me.
Worse if you get retrenched. Then you really So that's the first one. The second one is me personally. And I want to bring it back to this pregnancy thing because I don't agree with this thing of abandoning a woman you've impregnated. Many guys break up with their woman during pregnancy because of hormones, extreme hormones from her side. She starts acting up in a certain way and her expectations of you change. All of a sudden, hey bro, like get a job. But you know, I've been what? Say I want to hit a blunt. Hit a blunt. We're expecting a fucking child. So all of a sudden you fight because of that. But also guys get scared. It's like it was a mistake. It wasn't a planned baby. Number 2, I have to pay damages. Number 3, this chick is like, you want to have to marry me? Hey dog. We were just fucking having fun.
But
and niggas run away because they're also scared of being fathers.
But women, and I don't know how many times I've told different guys, it's not the same woman that you're with. Like in many cases, the girl that you met and like is not the same. It's almost like you have to start again and reintroduce each other with who this person is, because day one you met her, you know. All of a sudden she becomes this queen that says, never. You guys need to pick me up in a G-Wagon. all of a sudden, I can't live here. This place is too small. Like she literally just becomes like, oh my God, who are you? And I think a lot of guys get overwhelmed. You are not the person that I fell in love. It's literally, I went to sleep with I can't be with this lady, and sometimes it can get very, 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 very toxic, where the guy will say, for my peace and your peace and the safety of both of us,
Let me walk.
cross.
So I won't speak for that, and maybe we can look for solutions. I don't know if you guys have any. What would happen in my case, I'd meet a woman and start dating and I'd get comfortable. And what happens when you have a woman that's a good woman is she feels like a mom.
Mm.
Umama wasekhaya. You've got food, she does your laundry, it's clean, and then you start craving a girlfriend. I miss having a girlfriend because now ukhona umama, like, and I'm not trying to leave, but like I miss, hey, when am I gonna see you? What are you wearing? Because I know what this makoko was wearing in the morning. When we woke up, I saw her pick her outfit. I missed the excitement of having a girlfriend, and I found that in my instances, I don't even want to speak about my personal life like that, but in my instances, the times when I have cheated, it was that. And it wasn't, I saw some hot chick somewhere and I craved her. It's, I've got stable. At home, we've got rice, we've got maize, we've got chicken, braai pack. I'm good. But like, I crave takeaways. I crave like a KFC type of situation.
I think, because I've dated
and
a
then
girl.
you meet the KFC and now you're eating KFC and that becomes a staple. Now you're like, umama seka. Now I found myself constantly doing that. And I think what happens with some of these guys when a woman falls pregnant is all of a sudden she's no longer a girlfriend. She's now like a mother.
She is.
It's like, damn, like.
And she moves like that.
Like, can we not go party this weekend? Like, no, but I'm pregnant. We can't drink. I can't go out. And you're like, okay, I hear you. But like, you don't excite me anymore. So I'm not like turned on and I crave having, and I don't know if his tempo was meant for that. Ugutu mamas now at home with the kids. Let me go and find a girlfriend. And once she becomes a mama, then.
Like, weekend special.
No, not substitute. This tempo is not substitution. This tempo was
unknock. So like I've had a similar experience, and the gap between me and that lady was 7 years in terms of age, but in terms of stage, it was bigger. I don't know if I'm making sense. Sometimes you can be the same age as someone, but in different stages of life. Yeah, one. They might be 35 and still moving like they're 19. They think like they're 19. They do 19-year-old things, but they're not 35. So I think because of the responsibilities that I had at 30, I was a little bit more advanced in terms of I was moving probably like a 35-year-old, if I can call it that, because of my responsibilities. Sure. She was 23, got a job, living her best life.
Yeah, first year advanced.
Oh, it felt like you just fun. It fun. You don't get to fun. Here's the thing: once you start getting to be with umuntu,
you like that.
I mean that's what drew me in.
You're like, oh, this chick is so cool. She laughs at everything.
But
she's not heavy. She's not telling me about the bills and the kids.
Sharp. What keeps you there though? What keeps you there is the project. There's always going to be a project that will keep you there, because if there's no project, you're shy. But if there's a project that you're like, I can do this here.
Turn her into a woman.
I can turn this little girl into a beautiful woman, into a swan. Ne? And as much as she's fun, but we are and then she latched onto that. And I had now a purpose. I'm the lecturer, she's the student, and then as you're saying, as umuntu ekhula, nefani yancipha.
Yes.
No,
and she's becoming what you're grooming.
Yes. Because now all of a sudden she's telling me about budgets. Don't get that. This doesn't make sense. No, don't get that.
And you're like, boo.
And you're like, but it's so must figure out ways to study ibhodlela le. Ifika nama cricket lempahla le. Bisibuya yami ngihlala nje ngesikhulu. Manje mawufika kuthiwa no, so phuza nje iside 1-1 sambe sendlini. 1-1.
We can't drink like this. We're trying to have a baby.
You're trying to know there's food at home. There's food at home. Pizza pizza la manje sengitshela ukuthi khona ukudla endlini. So I hear you, and it's a fine line, and we need to do like a balancing act. Mina, my thing is, what I try and do, especially with my channel, is how can I teach amachita that are coming up these things that I have learned? You know, because I see it so many times. I see it with guys our age, being with little girls or younger girls. They may call it, let's not be rude. But when I say little, I'm talking about 10, 12, 13 years gap. Mchita's 36, he's with a 23-year-old. And then they will date, fun, 6 months, and then single. And Mchita's lonely, he's depressed. And I'm like, I know what happened. I know where the disconnect was. Or I've seen young guys, they straight out of varsity, they're 21, sis is 21, he's 21, they date. I know once my child 26, content disconnects over corner, they're going to separate.
They're going to be in different stages.
Labo, they've been together for 7 years. And I'm like, how can I teach amachita coming up ukuthi hey lo muntu uzoyishintshela ekushintshele nawe. There's going to be expectations that she'll put on you that you have no idea or any clue how you can achieve this. What? But I know your mom. I've seen your mom many times. What do you mean? Haibo. So now all of us
alcoholic uncles to pull through, homie.
But you check your account to capital kuna 7 rand 50. And she's putting these things, hey. This place is too small. We need to get a bigger car. 7 rand 50 is accounting. We are spending back Lana. You are overwhelmed. You are earning 10K less than what you thought you'd be earning at this stage. The pressures are so much. And then how can the young guys maneuver these spaces? Because you find so many guys get to age 28, 29, 30, and they're still stuck in the same hole that he's been stuck since he was 23. Or a guy who's 25 is stuck in the same hole that he's stuck since he was 20. He has no clue how to get out of that hole. He's been there for 5 years, doing the same thing. And he wants to come out, but he just doesn't know. And he can't even date because now, if he's 25 and he knows that the girls that are 23 are on a different stage because they partying with this Grootman and that Grootman, they going on vacations there. They
don't want to go to a back room.
They don't want to go to your mom's house, dog.
Yeah.
They don't want to be sneaking through your mom's kitchen more to extend. So now there's that pressure. And you see, and I speak to so many of these guys, and then you meet these girls that like you initially, because it's cool being a music producer, until such time where they're like, yeah, but where's the flights? Why aren't we flying to Bali? Why aren't we meeting Casper in your vest? And then it's almost like she starts moving differently. And you can start seeing a change again. And you're like, what happened? She's changed. The expectations of her. So, I don't know.
TD Jakes calls it, we lose each other at the curves.
Oh, I've
It's
heard
like
that.
being on a motorbike.
I've heard that.
And there's someone sitting behind you. And as you hit the curve, the other person is not leaning with
They
you.
need to lean in with you.
And they fall off. So what keeps a relationship lasting for long is that if we're hitting a curve, of course you're meant to communicate. Like say, I need to go vegan. My lifestyle, the doctor said, and you're like, okay, let's lean together. I'm gonna eat meat, but I understand that I'm gonna have to cook this for you.
Lineage,
I now wanna hit church, even though I used to twerk for you. And the guy's like, but okay, let's curve together. I'll drop you off at church, and then I'll pick you up. But at least we're still in this together. You guys don't have KK.
Yeah,
Please go for it, bro. Please go on the mic. I hope you'll.
Yeah, I'm on the mic.
Sure.
Penson was saying something about like when a girl reaches 26, you're starting to be like disconnect from you as a guy if you are the same age. I think it has to do with more the delusion that they live into. So like for girls, when they get to 26, it's like their peak. That's where like she's hot. You can tell she has everything.
It
now.
is their peak.
And now a lot of guys that are like out of that earn more than you as a guy. Guys that have money are starting to flood into her DMs, are starting to share her hair. And then she start to believe like, I'm staying with this guy and he doesn't have money.
KK is looking so crusty all of a
then
sudden.
But it's even a
then
biological thing, because again, if you think
Yeah.
about it, when you get to about 25, 26, you develop your frontal lobe develops and you start thinking more logically. So if they play around with the girls that are 22, 23, 24, sleep around with them, but kubanzinyana to sleep around with the girls that are 27, 28. What happens is that those girls start thinking marriage. So when a girl hits like 28, she looks at her biological clock in terms of having kids, and then she looks about building a family. 5 years ago, she was thinking about twerking on a yacht. Hits 28, all of a sudden, KK, when are we having a family? KK, when are we buying this big mansion in Santon? KK, when are we getting matching Porsches? KK, when are we going to look for applications at Hilton College for our kids? KK, it's all local got this busy. Yabon, squad my message inyama enhloko namhlanje. But once she goes through that, it's tough, bro.
Finish your thought, KK. You didn't finish. Sorry, I don't know if you had a question or if you were just saying that they're delusional.
I was saying that a lot of guys, those guys are the reason that like she start to be that way. That's what I was trying to say. But now that person says it in a different way, I kind of.
But it's all together. It's not Guti. I'm just building on it. Yeah, but when I use cigarettes, I'm the lighter. It's all aligned.
Yeah, you have a solution for that. Sorry, by the way, do you want to send a message maybe to girls or to gents?
I don't necessarily have a solution to that.
But let's say you have a daughter or you have a female cousin who's 24, 25, 26.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say to her?
Look,
you're about to reach your peak. Niggas are going to flood your DMs. This is what I want to say to you as Uncle KK.
I would say to her that a lot of guys would come for her. And attractive ones, ugly ones, the lying ones, but she has to create ways for herself in order to divide the right ones from the bad ones. So what she has to do is to put up rules, maybe to say 90-day rules, to make it harder, a bit harder for men.
27 boy. 27 says, God, the simple babulele. Yabona 27, they coming back from the streets.
Yeah, but
more than anything, you're saying, look, as a young girl reaching your peak, please watch yourself, because niggas are gonna want to just smash you because you're at your peak, and you're gonna become used goods.
Yeah.
If you don't
watch yourself. They what physical peak?
No, but that's debatable. In the example that he was using, he was just saying, let's assume a good girl.
Yeah.
He's saying those good girls reach their peak at 26 because that's when they're hot, that's when they have jobs, that's when they're in high demand. At varsity, maybe they're still a bit dizzy, but at 26, and he's saying at 26 they are delusional because there are all these rich guys that want them. So I was just asking him to be like, for those girls before they reach 30 and now niggas are not hitting them at all, what advice would he give? And the advice is just watch yourself and make sure that you sift a bit better. Otherwise, you've already probably got a body count, but don't make it worse just because these rich boys are trying to smash you.
I think the needs are different. I think at 22, they're getting flooded for their body. And then at 27, they are now trying to get that rich guy to settle down with. I think
fall pregnant.
Now they want that rich guy. At 22, they're just looking for a guy with, Man, I just chat. Sorry.
Bro, like the thing is with us, it's tough. You see now, I'm turning like 22.
Sure.
Intanga zami like loot on face.
The girls.
Like for Amachita, my peers, they can all attest. They can all testify. Good dog. You'll never find a class in lako unless like a situationship noma into etheni marangeke kujole dog because no intense akalayo ukuthi kule age enguyo.
Sure.
If ngizobheka abantu abancane like asivumelekile anything below 18 19
yes,
like umthetho awuvumi at all, and then anything after lapho ama first year and labo bantu bagijimisa abantu abana 35 abantu abana 30 like ama Grootman ama Bottlekele ema clubini thina senza kancane ngoba seclassini eliwana nginamoto nginanex, and then uthola ukuthi okay fine ngiyayibona no situation njani leyo nto ngiyangimotivate ngibhekela uentertain ngibhekela uphenwele ngiyajima strong ngishaya 27 nami sengumjita no nginemoto nyana ngiyazibhekela ngina 30 27 ngiyenza
27
yeah sithi 27 mangifika lapho angisafuni ukuya kuntanga yami ena 27
but even if you went to a 27 do you think you'd get a 27
like sengina 27 sengispana
because you must understand now she's driving the same car that you have.
Khona ba retire phela
sebabuyile game ngithi I'm into you saying she's 20, let's say 21.
Okay.
She's a bottle girl.
Yeah.
She's being with guys about 35, 36.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ukhumbula ukuthi they moving with the age as well.
But
right?
Once
they get to 26, do you think they'll say, now let me relax with the 26-year-old?
I think he was speaking more from his perspective of saying that now that you say grand, he doesn't want those chicks.
Oh, he doesn't.
Bona ngithi no seba retire labantu laba
Oh,
mebabhizi nabo
sorry.
sebabheke esinye
Yes,
stock lawo
yeah.
mafrotman mina nabo sesigijimisa into eyi-1 no
Yeah.
yangithola ngoba mina mangiku-30 ngiyofuna ukubhadala i-revenge for all the times ngiba
Do-
rejected ngina-23
do you
ngizolanda ama-23-year-old
Do you know this happened to me only after 30?
When
Where
you started chasing 20-year-olds.
no, where the
Sorry,
aba
so this was
retired
going
ne,
in a different direction.
laba retired sebe hey Benson, how you doing? Umuntu ushanga ama baby daddy ayi-20.
Oh, 20 though. We had to go
20
so
baby
hard.
daddies manje. Angithi sasimfuna sonke sina 22. Sasibafuna opalesa, sibafuna nomfundo, sibafuna. Now she's 32, I'm 32 now, she's saying hey ni cute. Yeah, what? Yeah. Basho njalo.
Don't pass the mic yet. I wanted to ask you. You spoke about Umthetho Uvumi,
yeah
which is correct.
for real
Legally, the age is 16, but at some point we need to have the conversation of legal versus moral, because we can't be owned by the law.
yeah
We need to be owned by what feels right.
Mm.
I wanted to ask you how you feel about 22-year-old guys, base varsity or after, dating grade 12, grade 11 as a solution to not deal with these young girls at varsity that are being chased by amachitane new.
so like okay for me personally angithi I'm 22
Yeah.
so umntana ona 18 ngimshanga like 4 years
Let's say grade 11, 17.
like
16
17
turning
okay
17.
ngimshanga 5 years
Yes.
so mangina 25 leyo mntana makana 20
Let's talk
iyobe
now.
ivumelekile
Let's talk
lento
now.
leyo
No, I understand. So I'm going back to the example you made. So you're 22,
Yeah.
your age mates, you feel like we're now.
yeah
And you're speaking for a lot of guys.
yeah
These chicks are not looking at us.
yeah
They're looking at Amakrotman and you. I'm asking as a solution, do you think you guys should be dating girls in high school? Or are you guys fucked to only date first years and up and hope for the best?
According to the law, we are obliged only to date abantwana out of high school yangithola but then
Not really. From grade 10, 11, 12, 16 and above.
amongst leyo age group but
16
then
plus.
once you are above 21 years old you're not allowed to
Nope. 16 plus.
Oh, maybe this is a teachable moment. So let's hit you with this. This is going to be quick, I hope.
yeah
So the age of sexual consent, which we're going to link to dating, in South Africa is 12.
12 fool.
Yeah. So in South Africa, it's legal for 12-year-olds to have sex. But it must be within a 3-year range. So the 12-year-old can sleep with the 15-year-old.
Oh yeah
Once it goes above 3 years, it becomes statutory rape.
yeah
So on a 13 can go all the way up. You add 3 years,
16.
16. On a 14, 17,
17
kanjalo, kanjalo.
yeah
That's age of consent from age 12.
yeah
3 years, though. And then from age 16, like South Africa,
grade
can
10
sleep with anyone you want.
Can
Grade
sleep with a
10.
100-year-old, bro.
A grade 10 girl, as an example. I'm going to use a girl because that's
Oh.
normally the example people make. They normally don't use boys.
yeah
A girl who's on a 16 in grade 10 can sleep with a 40-year-old man. Legally, that is not deemed statutory rape. Which is why I said, at some point, we're going to have to speak legal versus moral.
but then
So that's why I was asking Guti, Mauna 22, legally, you can jola with the 16-year-old.
yeah
It doesn't, the law allows you.
yeah
So I was asking because you're complaining about your age mates.
yeah
Do you think mhlampe intwana that are young like yourself, mhlampe mele nibhela go matric grade 11 and be like, at least those chicks basihlonipha.
most amagents
our
it's
age.
it's what we do most amagents there's a saying amongst amachita that's like grade 12 term 4 it's a thing ukuthi yeah siyacava maka grade 12 term 4
So siyakhipha.
yeah there you can attack
Yazi ngishaya kanjani leyo nto man, because I remember when I was in grade 11 and I remember the girls in grade 11 with me.
transport
Sebe-
drivers
But yes, they were bachola taxi drivers abantu
Yeah.
basevava. And I used to be like, so if I'm in grade 11 as
And
umchita.
taxi drivers are young guys. I didn't know this when I was in high school. Taxi
yeah
drivers 22,
I'm a
23.
transport driver.
Yes.
Baba.
So now I'm 17, she's 17, grade 11. She's dating a 23-year-old, as an example. Who am I meant to now date?
You mustn't date, ba. Melu shayi skomor, ba. Hamba ulala.
Who am I meant to
Walk,
date?
wank,
So now
go
someone's
sleep.
going to say, okay, date umuntu ofuna grade 9. Because mina ngifuna grade 11, funa grade 9. Okay, intwana efuna grade 9 ke yena. Iphela aphi lento engikhuluma ngayo? Izophela kuphi?
Maybe light is, look, I'm just thinking about this off the top of my head. Young boys specifically. I need to
Yeah.
argue that girls mature faster than us,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for myself because maybe I was a loser.
Mm.
I think in Twana grade 8, grade 9, grade 10 should not be dating. I think in Twana Faith we should be focusing on iskele. And then
Dude.
grade 10, you can start looking at grade 8, grade
But
9.
okay,
And look, maybe I'm wrong. Because Nakona, I'm using these years to date, not for sex, by the way. I'm just talking about Ntombi. Grade 18 kangakanani with their big bags. Yeah, so my girlfriend and you ibuka lento na 13 na 14. Unentombi wena. Nenzani? No, on Friday she gives me a baby kiss and you're like, baba. Go hit the books, Ntwana. Hit the books to try push up, forget girls. You'll see girls in grade 11.
Abantu bangenele with social media and I said boys shouldn't date. And I was talking about boys in the sense of people that aren't responsible, fully responsible and accountable for their life.
Or not an age thing.
Not an age thing.
People that are not responsible.
So you could be 40 years old.
And if you're a boy.
And if you're not fully responsible for your life and accountable for your life. So however you want to define that, you know. But you can't be complaining, then you fall into a certain category called boy for me.
Sure.
So you need to zone in. Khohlwa intombi. Mawusahlula ukuthengela i-data noma usahlula ukuthi uthenge isinkwe brown no peanut butter. Intombi should be the last thing on your mind. It should be, how can I work on me so that at the very least I can just look after my basic things before. And I think a lot of the challenges when we struggle is labo 21, 22, they don't have to look after themselves. Everything for a trip, everything for the everything. Whereas when Mona 22, you're 20, the expectation is you's gonna cover.
This is traditional.
It's today's society.
No, I'm just saying traditionally where the boy is meant to provide or the man's meant to provide. Because I wanted to ask the other thing in solution.
Yeah.
So date younger girls is a potential solution. We're not saying people must do it. We're just talking dynamics. I know dating, we're not speaking sex, just having a girlfriend. I wanted to ask another potential solution. Gogo laba sebe retired. Abanabo 30. Ukuthi say my age mates don't want me. Gogo sebe retired. Awuthi ngihambe ngiyoyizamela isigogwana mfethu. Ngoba isigogwana is gonna buy me. I'm a boy. Isigogwana songithengela idatha.
Isigogwana
is gonna pick me up in a car and it's gonna be like,
hey, ngicela ukunika tip.
No, you drive.
Ngicela ukunika tip. Ngicela ukunika tip. Isigogwana is only there for a situationship, bro. Yabona what to invest isigogwana.
Intwana is also there for.
Yabona if that's your goal, a situationship. Uyashaya andlule yabona ukuthi sohlekisana for 6 months. If that's your goal, tops, do you. But if you thinking ukuthi nje una 22, uyobamba ugogo na 34. Yabona after a while, every female has this. Every female kancane uzoqala expect sekwena.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And now she's got 2 kids. And now usucela ukuthi uyoshaya. I'm probably 34, 35. Abantu banengane. And now she's like, hey, please can you help me with this? Please can you try? Please can you? And now you start realizing what's time, man. Lo muntu una 24 sufuna ukuthi ngibe itime to ingane. And all of a sudden, all that pressure, responsibility and accountability will now be on your shoulders. If that's what you want, go for it. If it's just angaka be ready, I would suggest ukuthi uziyeke kokwana unless ngempela you are ready for that work, because after you've invested.
Someone is looking for a girlfriend.
I'm a situationship.
Not situationship, a girlfriend. Not a wife. Because even the age mate he was speaking about. The girls that are bottle girls,
Serious.
he's also not looking for a wife. He's looking for a girlfriend.
No, but
So
I'm saying
say, look young, or uzami isikokwana ntwana.
hey, it's kokwana sokufold up, bro.
Obvious, right now as we stand, intanga zama not an option. Ibudget enginayo ithi McDonald's and intanga yama ijabuleli McDonald's.
Sure.
Ifuna abo news cafe.
Hey,
Ifuna izinto eziserious abo drama lapha uba yise pavilion. So
but man,
oqeda isikolo manje.
But no, but asibe honest. But ning or age mate bakho sisters abakufunayo nawo bafunayo. But because they don't look the way.
Last.
It's because of it look.
Last.
They don't look that
uzobona
way.
impilo engcono.
When makhuluma nge-bottle girl, phela siyawazi ama-bottle girl ukuthi how they look physically. Khono sisi that don't look like bottle girls.
Abasontayo beZCC.
Abangeke nje angeke ehlale kule situlo lesi. Yabona kule situlo lesi. Ngeke ngene kule situlo lesi. Uzochitheka kule situlo. Yabona isitufana esingaka. Wena umfuni. Baningi girl aba-grand, but because they don't look like bottle girls and bafuni.
Okay, I wanted to say something. When you were saying like younger boys should date lower, I was thinking.
You're just making a suggestion.
Go for it, KK.
Okay, yeah, yes, yeah, a suggestion.
Sure.
Yeah. I was thinking like, you see, when you're younger, I don't think you should be committed to anything, to like relationships. I feel like when you're younger, you should be trying stuff. It means you should be trying girls too.
Huh?
You should be like sharpening your masculinity,
Huh?
learning how women work, learning them. At that age, I feel like from 18 there, like from high school till like maybe you are 30 or 25.
Sure. You
As
just
a
playing
guy,
the game.
yeah, as a guy,
Most
just play
is
the
late.
game. Cause you grow late.
body count yosisibethu ngokufunda.
Yeah.
Qedelela, KK,
Because
qedelela,
at the
baba.
end of the
Forget us,
day-
Tina, we're old niggas.
At
Chat.
the end of the day, women, they want a nigga that is more experienced than her. They want a guy who has an edge over her. So as a guy, you have to have like do two things at the same time. You need to play and at the same time be serious. So you're playing, it helps you in order to put your girl in her place. She has to know that my guy can get any girl now because he has the experience. And then on the other side, your serious side, you are educated, you earn good money, you can like take her to nice places, you know. So like for a guy, I feel like when you are in your 20s, teens there, you should be experimenting, learning, getting rejected as much as you can. So that even when you get to an age where like a girl is changing, you expecting it, you've been through this, you know, the
Must skills.
experience is there. So like for me, that's
Before
that's the
Penson
thing.
speaks, man, I wanna agree.
Bayasontweni kodwa abasonti.
I want to agree with one part that you're saying because I'm gonna give my views on what you're saying, but I'm gonna let Penson speak first.
No, chat.
No, I'm gonna let you speak first. You're very right in that women expect men to know better, and the question becomes from where? Because they laugh at the gents who are like, "I'm 30 years old, I'm a virgin, I'm waiting for marriage." She'll be like, "Hey, where were you at 22? Hey, I don't know if I wanna marry you." So when you weren't dating, they laugh. So then you're like, "But I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was going to church, I was with my books." But now you're laughing at me and you want the guy that I thought was a jerk. The guy that was different. So you're very right in that women somehow expect a guy, especially in the older years, your late 20s, 30s, they expect the guy somehow to magically have know more. But don't you know, women, you know we have our moods and you're like, I was waiting for you. I don't know anything. Like, teach me. So I agree with that, and it's something that we probably have to discuss with women.
Mina, it's what is happening in current society, what you're talking about. But as a greater thing, I fully disagree. Mina kube nje kuhamba ngami to go back to umfana uyinsizwa nsi, intombazane intombi nto, and bayofathuza together, you know. So she's not comparing your dick size to another nigga's dick size because this is the best she's experienced. She doesn't know anything. So you're like, girl, I folded you. And she goes, yeah, you folded me, because she doesn't know, you know. But if she's been folded by 20, 30 guys by the time she gets to 25, now you've been
She's
compared,
played the game.
you know.
She knows how to make you.
So the only way you can manage that girl who's been with 20 guys is if you've been with 50 girls. Yeah, one. So it becomes that if she's been sitting on passenger side on 3 Bugattis, then you need to have 50 helicopters. It becomes that. Kanti man buys I know it too. And I'm speaking from experience where I was in a 15-year relationship from 2008 till, and sas baiza. Like baiza. So it's not like umuntu compare to something better. And obviously as a machita, there's always going to be someone who's taller than you, shorter than you, fattier than you, skinnier than you.
Taller, Baba, taller. You must
Yeah,
make
but
sure we know what
there's-
tall you're talking about. Taller.
So there's always going to be that. But yena my baiza, she doesn't know better. So if she's never tasted McDonald's, and when you feel McDonald's, hero. Mshange McFlurry,
That's why you must go
hero.
for high school girls, Baba.
Hero. But
He
no.
bought me a McFeast
But now here's the challenge. You'll go to a high school girl that's had 5-6 guys about at 26, 27.
Yeah, not that one.
But I need to warn you because you're
Not about
attracted
that one.
ngamek as a
Not about
machit.
that
So you'll be attracted to the girl that looks like Slay Queen, that looks like those bottle girls, that looks like, so she's been around the block. When are you going to get attracted to
his
that?
age mates?
No, I'm saying when I was in grade 11,
We're assuming that they're not experienced. That's why we use them as an example. The same way you say they are age mates who are also not experienced.
That's fine. I'm just saying we need to understand stereotypically, once a girl starts looking a certain type of way, she starts attracting certain energy. That's what I'm trying to say. So even if she's in matric and she's got a weave that goes down to her knees, if she's shy lip gloss, if she's already dressed, we've seen some of these high school
Well,
girls
just on
on
this
TikTok.
example of yours on McD's, there's a higher chance she hasn't had McD's if into grade 10
Fine.
than third year. So we're just saying go for the girls who are less experienced.
I'm not even disputing that. I'm saying with the unfortunate things that Amachita, I know the type of girl they're attracted to look wise. And we've seen high school girls on TikTok, like Baba Chaivayo, with like 100,000 followers on TikTok. Ntombazane is still in matric.
Why are you looking at TikTok high school girls?
Phela iyatshengisa la bantu
No, we are
abaChaivayo.
swiper. You mustn't see them. As soon as
Hayi mina ngihlali mina ngifuna ukubona kahle ukuthi uzalwa ubani ubaba bakho khona ngizomdemba
Wabona uniform crap.
Ngenzani?
Crap.
Engiyayishaya ihlwepha.
Mate,
So wona sathana. Hawu, hamba ufunda. So, but the real thing is that those girls do exist. Now, knowing how Amachita think, how many DMs are in those type of girls, and because she's so young and impressionable, it's only a matter of time until she starts bringing certain energies. So when you have figure, because now you want the hardest matric girl, if you're going to chase a matric girl. You don't want a bottom feeder. You can get a 24-year-old bottom feeder. You want a top Shaela who might also have mileage, who might be experienced way beyond you. Usuflopile. Mina gimme manginika amajita ngithi guys sengathi singaba blind kancane not kakhulu sengathi ngasebenzela i1 ihlo yabo uyibuza ukuthi le project ngingayibuildani the project le
22-year-old Lighty is not looking for a wife, man.
no, it's not about looking for a wife, because here's the thing, as a 22-year-old you're still on your own journey.
Sure.
And here's the thing, yabona if you can get a
I'm
good
just
one.
saying, Lento Guti must think of building.
Lalele, yabona if you can get a good one, and again I'm talking from my experience, if you can get a good one, as much as building, I promise you she'll build you. There will be that. There comes a time in anything. If I start investing in you as Umchita, what you gonna do in return? Invest back, right? It happens organically. And one thing I've seen, but if you are master producer and you've got 1,000 people throwing all the investments on you, all of a sudden I'm not as important, right? However, I'm not saying to get the ugliest chick that you've met in your life. Bakono sisi that are like 6s, 7s. Bakhona 6s, 7s. When you bega chicks that are 12 out of 10. Bakhona ma 6 nama 7 that you know ukuthi yabona lo mangamvusa ekseni shay joke kancane ngithi yabona ngumfaka ihlasela amafutha lo. Yabona mangambona nje azi lona ngamsusa ngamfaka kwebe 80 lo. Lona ngamshintsha kancane.
That's when you lose her.
And then by then you've invested all that time.
She's gonna leave.
No, they don't just
You
leave.
see how much time do we have left? 17.
17 minutes. Sanaqala.
Hayi tukhuluma kakhulu. KK, I want to go to this thing that you're speaking to, and I'm happy that you raised it, because a lot of guys believe what you believe. Look, just play the game. And sadly, a lot of our parents, and maybe even us as parents now, we're probably going to give our kids the same advice. You're young, because your 17-year-old boy is going to be like, I've met my wife. You're like, hey, Baba, go explore yourself.
I'm not to write him fine.
So here's the danger, because I wanted to agree with the part where women expect you to be experienced. The danger that I've seen is the more women you get with, the more it messes you up psychologically. And by the time you get to 30, what you were saying, 18 to 30, your body's built habit. It's like gym. If you've been gymming from 18 to 30, it's going to be difficult for you to just stop gymming and be like, no, I'm just going to not gym. So when you get used to chasing skirts and sleeping with different women to accumulate the experience, it's going to be difficult for you to settle down at 30. And that's why a lot of married guys end up cheating, chasing young girls, but they married because the habits that he's built. The question now...
And you get better at it.
No, of course. Master. What would make you stop? Because as soon as you see a chick, you already know what to say. You know when she giggles like this.
You are making 10K at 24, getting the hottest girl. Now you're making 100K at 32.
So the solution
You're gonna be flying.
The solution we need to try and figure out, at least from my perspective, because you're younger than me and I'm supposed to, as a Grootman, give you good advice. I could tell you, Antoine, I will ride shy, Antoine, I'm an experience, but I've seen what that does to guys. But at the same time, I can't be like, no, Antoine, I'm just you know, semen retention, you are the prize. Ufika kuthethe intwana wazi ukuthi cherry kumele ithintwe kanjani. We need to find a solution of how can we get young gents to gain the experience but without building the type of habit that makes them rubbish.
Pornhub.
And then hey. What is that? What is a Pornhub?
Nami ngafunda kubhaliwe ukuthi khona into ebizwa ngePornhub. Ayama ngiyazi.
Porn is second-hand clothes.
Yeah, PAWN. Udayisa kwengubo. Yes, iHub yakhumula khona isitolo esasibizwa ngeHub.
Thought you were talking about something else.
Hayi mina ngizazi lezo zinto lezo.
The other thing we need to do, KK, now that you've raised it, is we need to speak to girls or train girls in such a way that, number one, they need to preserve themselves. Because the value of a woman, even though life has moved so much, the value of a woman still majorly lies in her purity. The fewer bodies she's had, the fewer guys she's been linked with, the higher her value. Yes, looks are a thing. But I can tell you now, there's some celebrity chicks who are hot as shit. But the stories we've heard about them, if engasondela kuwe, you'd be like, "Antwana ngizoshaya ngoba uhot." But there's no way I'm fucking wifing this thing. So there's still a thing to be said about purity. But there's also something to be taught to young girls around expectations of a machida. And the same way we're going to tell you guys, say, focus on making your money, jima ube grand and be attractive. We're going to need to teach girls as well. Would say, all these guys that are in your DMs that are taking you out and what, even if you're going to claim, but I didn't sleep with all of them, and sure.
Mm-mm.
But I can tell you the perception to gents out there. There's a guy in your class, there's a guy maybe who's a senior even at varsity watching you. And he thought he saw something. And he's going to bump into you like Upensin at 33. And you guys are not the same. He's a man, you're a woman. At 33, he's going to be making 100,000. You're going to be making 100,000 as an example. But he's going to be more valuable than you. Even though you guys have got the same body count. And when that time comes, you're going to sound like a bitter woman on social media. I don't know why these old guys are busy with young girls. It says a lot about them and their mindset. What the hell are you discussing? And you're like, you're just bitter. You are getting smashed. But you're not going to tell us that you are getting smashed all these years. Mine obusu retire and amachita wasak funi. Even the young, I'm a Ben 10, they also don't want you. They're like, hey, I know, aunties are sisters, I know, Aisha. That's why you're bitter now, but you're not being honest to the young girls. That listen, I was run through. I thought I was hot. I got the hottest guys at varsity smashed me. The hottest guys in corporate was smashing me. And then I tried to get married. I was married for 2 years. Then the nigga cheated or he left me for a younger girl. And then I got bitter. Because now I'm looking up and I've got 2 kids, 3 kids. And I've now got baggage. And this guy who was actually quality at school is looking at me. He's got 3 kids like me. Siafan, and now he's got failed return soldier. Now he's divorced. But he's more valuable than me because 23-year-old girls want him. But gents my age, gents older than me, they don't want me. I tried to scratch a Ben 10 just for a weekend. But now, uzong shy until he gets a job. After that, it's going to be like, hey.
And Ben 10 comes at a cost that she's not used to.
At a cost?
That she's not used to.
In terms of taking care of him?
Taking care of him, yeah. And but if you've been, again, like any muscle, if I've been taking care of a girl from 20 till 35, I'm used to it. You now are trying this flex out for the first time at 35.
So we have to have these conversations because people literally get to Mzi.
Just to add on,
Sure.
I think on the just workshopping the solution part to any girl that's listening right now. Can we look at the lineage? You know, I'm just gonna run back my story. The grass was greener, guys, on my end. I dated a girl. We shared the same age, same traits. We loved each other. That was high school love. We had pretty much goals for each other. And
she was your best friend.
Yeah.
Hey.
And the fallout was because she was transitioning to varsity, and I was choosing entertainment and where I am right now. So I used to listen to her, and she would tell me about her mother. Her mother was big in the entertainment space. So she would like, yo, my boyfriend is a rapper and an artist. Kimo rapper. And you know, those things, they were things we would laugh about until not, you know, until she was like, yo, dude, can you afford me now? that's what she said on the fallout. You know, that was first day I think because I about the UFS.
Of course.
And you know, there's people that are now chatting to her.
Yeah.
There's people that are saying things.
First year, and she said to you, "Can you afford?"
Yeah.
And for me, I
easy on the varsity at university at a tertiary institution.
Yeah.
Hey, wow, take it easy. Let's not expose them from different scales.
Sure. So what I'm trying to say, I think you guys need to look at lineage, like trace back on the DNA. Singabantu abanjani, you know, from mama unphatha njani, utata munjani yena.
So you're saying that she was being fed
this
information from home.
Well, she was, I think maybe it's a phase thing, I don't know. She fell in love with an artist purely and wanted to be like, yo, I'm going to be in such a corporate space doing my corporate work, and you artistically going to, you know, complement that. And family was just playing a very big role on just like instilling this narrative.
As MZ, I think sometimes we listen to broken people
or traumatized people. Because the mom is probably speaking from experience.
hurt.
True.
Yeah.
So she's like, don't play there. I've started a business and I've failed. I started 5 businesses and I've failed, you know. So don't you start a business as well. So now she's projecting her fears and her pain.
Indeed.
You know, I think that line that you posted every day, you could see, fix your family or die trying.
Yeah.
You know, it's such an important thing, because those are the people that we take the most advice. And I'm extending family not just to blood, but for people that you love
Your loved
unconditionally,
ones, as a concept.
and people that you are vulnerable around. You know, Guti, like, you also need to understand, Guti, as much as you hurt and you broken, they hurt and they broken. So all of a sudden, when I'm sitting with my partner, Atamachita, my closest people, if it's some sort of feb, it wasn't because I can hear Guti here, this is coming from pain. So Lifeb talk, it's a Tuesday.
Except it comes from pain.
No, when you can hear,
it come from pain?
you can hear it in the tone.
Eh? Oh, he sounds so hurt.
Amachita lingana nam. Hey guys, I'm 36. Yabona makuzofika umjidona 36 kwakho on a Tuesday ephume esipanini. Umbona ugqoka ishirt eqhaqha kanje ikinobhe phezulu. Ethi vese samsodli. Uyambona lo mjida akekho right.
No, that guy must go to church.
Uyambona lo mjida loyo. Uvela uthi intwana ngena la, ngiphakela iplate, hlale kanjena, sibuka iTV, masuqedile. Nanzi ijeli custard. Because you can hear it. You can hear certain things, Guti. You know what, there's a lot going on here. And I think it's about us understanding and fixing. So when she's saying that she's 18, 19, can you take care of me? There's a deeper pain from somewhere that she's hurt. Because you're in varsity not to be taken care of. You're in varsity so you can build something and get yourself a good career so that you can look after yourself.
Yeah, environment.
Yeah, I
wanted to say quickly, and then I want to ask Umzi a question. I really, really would like to implore people to hook people up. You guys might be a bit young, so maybe hookups to you guys means something different. Because young people, so it sounds like a smash.
Yeah.
But I implore specifically us older people, and no go kaseba retire or by expire rather. We need to hook each other up. You know, so many of us know good people. So you guys are in your 20s, right? Yeah. If I spend time with you guys,
how old are you? Sorry.
23. Man.
So if I meet you guys and I'm like, I think these are good kids. Yes, they speak about women. Okay, like, we must play the game. But I'm like, look, he's saying it, but he's a good gent. Umzi is a good gent. It would be nice to be like, hey, you know, there's this girl who I've also heard her say, yeah, but like, he must have a card. It's like I say, I think you're a good girl. I know
shower environment.
Forget the environment. I think you guys must meet each other.
Okay.
But now also for us older people, I think people must hook each other up. We've lost that culture. Do it with the span, do it with business, but also where you see two people that you think could get along just for a coffee date.
Do you know I've done that? And now they're married with kids.
It's one of the most important.
Now they're married with kids.
That's dope.
I was like,
oh, like Cupido.
I was like, you're such a lacquer guy, and you misunderstood because people call you a jerk, and you are a jerk, but like you're a nice jerk. You're our jerk.
Sure.
And Losisi, she's going through a transition. She's lost in the wild, but yabona sithi kumgeza kancane azovuka ngempela umjida wathi wayibamba ingane 1 month 2 months 3 months 4 months wayidedela wathi sikuba uthi uzobehave or behave sis. 10 years later,
Sounds violent.
beautiful. No, but I'm
5
just saying, Uti, like sometimes we lost in life, bro. Like especially with this bit. If they're listening to the outside noise, sometimes they can get lost, and they'll need that a stronger energy to manage them because they lost. People get lost. I've been lost. Everybody's been
the
lost.
reason I was raising this is what you were saying about Umchita that looks lost. Some is totally fair. Not everyone has an ability to do due diligence. Whereas I know a girl
A referral.
and her dirt.
Yeah.
So Umzi won't know that this chick would say this chick is trash, bro. But I know a good girl, but I won't think let me link them because where is he gonna bump into her? So I just think we must do that. And then I wanted to ask you, Umzi.
Because gents do that for smash and grab. I'll organize the store go lap.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to ask you, Umzi, I know we've got limited time left. Outside of yourself, do you think it's a bad idea to warn specifically your children of things that have traumatized you? Because I'm in a space now where I'm worried. I know entertainment as a concept is horrible. I'd want to hear he's a rapper, but he's studying law. Or he's just a rapper. Those would be huge red flags for me as well. He might end up in Casper, but the chances of that is winning a lottery ticket. So as we get older, or as we become more knowledgeable, do you think it's a bad idea? Or do you think we should do that, but then be like, hey, look, maybe you'll be lucky?
Yeah, the second option. I mean, Magapaize. I think that's the best lesson. for me.
Magapaize?
Yeah. That's the best lesson.
I would
for
never
me.
advise that. Never in 2025.
This is your daughter.
Look,
She's dating, I don't want to go illegal,
Yeah.
like he sells drugs.
Mm.
But he's in a profession where he's like, no, he teaches meditation to primary school kids. And you're like,
No.
hey, listen here.
Mina,
You must meditate on the weekends, but agaspan. And you're saying, you'd say to your daughter, or you think in your daughter, no, magapaize. Uzobona phambili, but you think you can guide.
I mean, in the sense of when I pen in the situation of a rapper, it's like I'd like to hear the girls I like yenutin. What do you like? Ufila kanjani lapho? Do you see a way forward to this? And go at it. Angithi mncane, just go at it. Like hamba ngayo. Ubone ukuthi
Let's
okay,
see.
uphelela kuphi ngalento.
Okay.
That's where I'm at with it. Like
if there's nothing I love more than youth, because with age you become the most beautiful optimist, and as you get older you become more pessimistic. I've seen, because life tends to kick you in the nuts a couple of times. So it's beautiful what you're saying, and I wish I had more of that, but that fire is long gone in my spirit. Because I would tell you now for free, if someone were to say they want to become a podcaster or they become a rapper, they want to, I'd be like, start small, adjust. Start small, adjust. I want a way for you to tell me how you're going to pay rent this month, how you're going to buy groceries this month, and how you're going to, I don't know, plus something nice to have, ice
Look at
cream.
Casper in your verse, bro.
No, you're not there. When you, as long as
But I'm going to get them dope.
as long
I'm
as
dope.
that little kokoko that you stay in, because how are you going to pay the rent? Because you're not going to look at me. How are you going to buy groceries? And how are you going to just,
Casper,
whatever.
bro.
But you're not that. Even,
Push, Kermai.
and then and then I'll say on the side, you can become a painter. Start small
Nah,
and
dog,
grow.
no plan B, homie.
Huh?
AKA said no plan B.
With my daughter. Yes, mini plan B.
Hey, Mr. Mlocho, sir, just believe in me, sir.
I'm believing
I'm
shit. I'm believing
I'm
shit.
dope. You haven't heard my rhymes.
Mina
My
ngavele-
boss.
yabona into emayisakhuluma kanjalo. I think it's uza la nto. Uza. Come closer. Ngishange people's elbow. Ngishange. Vele ngikubambile.
Mr. Mlocho.
What? Ngengane yami.
Except we're out of time. Time? We're out. Jeez, KK, can you 10 seconds?
Yeah.
So you guys, actually, you
Yeah.
you're going to force a kid to date someone who she doesn't like. Maybe let's say
I'll never
Don't
force.
answer. We don't have time.
Yeah, I'll never force them
Don't
to
answer,
do that.
don't answer.
I just said it. I answered.
maybe let's say it's a rapper there, and then she loves her. She loves him.
She must date whoever she loves.
And then when you're like, damn, this nigga,
No.
he's gonna win.
Don't answer.
She must date whoever
Sorry.
she loves.
Mz, KK, Fisherman. Oh, Future Mfana. TT. Thanks a lot for joining us, gents. Pen and pen, we're out.